if the new team for Ruiyichi, the Team Apprentice by Sugar and Pengi, are able to help out Ruiyichi, or if RockEr will just be able to take it.
We will find out. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the American Protoss player representing Team License to Kill. It is RockEr.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner in the red, representing Team Apprentice, give it up for Ruiyichi.
I would also request everyone in the chat to exclamation mark Funada Riichi, because this man, despite being on a new team, still has his old clan decal. Shaking my head. Oh my god. It's fine.
Makes my head. I mean, is it though?
Nah, really? It's not fine at all. Sugar, whip him. Get in there. I know you're in the chat.
Yeah, hopefully. Also, something interesting just happened. I want to point it out real quick. Ruiyichi had his wall pylon blocked, so he can't go to the second gateway on time. Or at least in the right position. It's going to make walling off against adepts really easy, or much more difficult. And getting in with adepts is going to be significantly easier for RockEr. So I'm very curious if the builds will be adjusted for RockEr, and he opts for like a very aggressive adept play, or if he's going to end up going for stalkers and like a more normal thing and just try and throw Ruiyichi off.
Yeah, I love that idea. We'll see if he does commit to that, as at the moment he does have to wait for his Cybercore to finish up, and how this series will play out. It will be nice to see if, one thing leads to another and he does go for those adepts. There's definitely the opportunity for that.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting strategy, I feel. And it's, although one thing that like would be, it'd sort of be expected, I feel, because your wall isn't quite right, so you might just know that, hey, there's gonna be adepts coming, but we do see the adepts being chronoed out, and with the probe here in vision, they're gonna get scouted, I feel, by Ruiyichi, unless he decides to run away, and which looks like he is doing, so still a little bit in the dark, but he can make an educated guess, maybe.
He can. We'll see if he has things in position. It's gonna take a lot to. Let's please have a little bit of a pause. But it is going to take a lot of effort to really wall off this ramp a little bit. But hopefully everything's okay for RockEr, with RockEr.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. The kids coming downstairs can be quite distracting. And so he is, so we got to wait for him to do that. But I'm very curious how this exactly is going to go. As I feel like Ruiyichi has to be very careful not to lose a bunch of workers, and so he's going to be very careful with his stalker positioning. And RockEr has to be, I feel like, sort of careful with whether or not he loses his adepts, because if he just gives away his adepts for like no or one probe, that's quite not what he wanted from the build, considering he committed a pylon and 2 adepts at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Oh boy, it's going to be a lot that's going to come into play once the unpause comes in. Also, best of luck to RockEr. I know kids can be terrifying creatures, so hopefully he's okay.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so it looks like we are good to go.
Maybe. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Oh, okay.
And there it is. All right, excited. I'm very excited to see how this goes, because this is such an interesting start to this game.
Yeah, as the adepts are going across the map. Unfortunately, Ruiyichi did miss them with that probe, so he won't be able to spot these coming across the map yet. The stalkers are coming out, going to be slowly dealing with this pylons. There are probes in position, by the way, to wall off. There we go.
Nice job, and he is opting to wall that top side, and with the adepts coming, he does get the bottom wall off up, so really nice job by Ruiyichi to adapt, although it is going to be a little bit more difficult unless he lets that top pylon finish, so it's kind of an awkward wall, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. It is a little bit awkward, but he was able to make do with the position that he was in, so he is still able to deny those adepts from getting into his base. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we did have a pylon block, so again, making things a little bit more annoying for RockEr to get an expansion up.
Yeah, and speaking of expansions, on the other side of the map, Ruichi is getting his expansion down, and so he's gonna have a couple, like maybe a one-ish probe lead over Ruichi is gonna have over RockEr, as Ruichi's Nexus was just a little bit quicker. Not by too much though, as we have 3 sentries. That is 5 sentries is a lot of sentries.
Oh my, I'm surprised by the extra 2. Jesus Christ. Obviously with the initial 3, you can use them to great effect to scout your opponent, but it does hinder your firepower here.
He did end up canceling them in order to get like his warp gates done, and he warps in stalkers instead of more adepts. So I like the stalkers a bit better because it's nice to just to be safe and not die. However, like 5 sentries is a very that early on. I feel like that would just like show you're going for like some weird mortal all-in. But now he's opting for Twilight Council. He's getting stalkers. Much more normal things going down.
Yeah, he's going to be catching up when it comes to the tech, you know, with his own Blink and with his +1. Meanwhile, Blink, of course, is already on the way here for Ruichi, so he does have a big window where he can utilize that to his advantage. His Forge a little bit later, but not by too much here, so Ruichi is looking pretty good so far. No major signs of aggression, though. Like, there's still no robo from either player for, say, a War Prism.
Yeah, instead they're opting to go for the very fast Forges. Trying to get that like upgrade timing, because I've said it in the past, upgrades are very important in PvP, especially just because that like +2 upgrade is such a significant timing, and both players know the other is going for a forge, but oh, that's a Dark Shrine.
Ooh,
and that is a scouted Dark Shrine.
Yeah, yeah, I love how Ruichi, he just went past the Dark Shrine and then he like did a double take. He like went back with the Luke and he confirms that there is a Dark Shrine on the way.
And so Dark Shrine versus Robotics Facility. I feel like we've seen this PvP before, or something very similar.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shame. What I will say is that RockEr knows that he got scattered, right? Like, he had vision of that hallucination, so we'll see if he commits and lets his Dark Shrine finish, and if he still tries to make these DTs work, or if he's a little bit more, like, conservative with them.
Yeah, because going like super aggressive and ham on the DTs when your opponent knows they're coming is a bit of a risky play. Though you can like, I feel like there are mind game levels you can go down because Ruichi knows that the DTs are coming. He might not be at. He might assume that RockEr like isn't going to go DTs, and the DTs will catch him a little bit more off guard, and then you can just take that train of thought down various levels. As we do have an observer on the way, and so I feel like Ruichi is just checking all his boxes, crossing all his I's, dotting all his T's, making sure, hey, I'm not going to die to something weird.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing it safe, you know, he doesn't want to take any weird risks, and because of that, he's going to be fine. Oh my god, RockEr, he's doubling down, mate. He's getting Blink for the DTs.
I love it. I love to see this. Blink DTs, Fear Dragon somewhere, somehow knows that something is going on. As these Stalkers, they are trying to undown this DT, but the DT is pretty quick. Oh, but the Blink forward, it gets the pylon, and it gets the DT. Oh, no.
Oh, I don't think that was intentional, but that was great. Like, the Blink forward just body blocking and encasing that DT amongst all the Stalkers. Everything here gets cleaned up. But, I mean, no one expects the Blink DTs.
And the Blink DTs are absolutely gonna catch almost everybody off guard. Unless you're playing Fear Dragon, then like you sort of just don't expect Blink DTs to really factor in. And with the Blink DTs, I feel like RockEr he doesn't really have to do something, but he's invested quite a bit, and so he has to do a little bit. If that makes sense, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is that RockEr, he is delaying his own robo. He's just not making one at all, right? Instead, those resources are being invested here into these DTs, so this has to deal something, as you said. Otherwise, it's like just all these resources down the drain.
Exactly, and with Charge and Immortals being made here, I feel like RockEr just has to do something, and that whether that something is like jump into the main base and get a whole bunch of probe kills, or somehow like kill a bunch of tech. It's really tough to decide, but these DTs are here, and that is going to be a lot of dead probes.
Oh my god, 6, 7, 8 probes go down, and the Forge is under threat as well. Yo, he can get a snipe and a denial on the +2.
Does he? He does. He denies +2. That's huge. That's gonna set Ruiyichi back so far, especially considering that the +2 for RockEr wasn't being chronoed at all. So he was a little bit behind upgrade wise, but now he's gonna have a massive lead because you have to rebuild that forge and do all of that research again to get +2 because it was nearly done. It was like 10 or so seconds off.
Yeah, that was a massive pickoff there for RockEr. So Blink DT is really coming into play. What I will say though is that we do have a War Prism coming out for Ruiyichi, and it could be go time. Even though he's down in upgrades, like he has the Immortal, you know, he's got quite a larger army as well. He can still make something happen here.
That he can, as we do see, it is so many. It's a lot of stalkers really for RockEr, but like. I don't think stalkers are going to be enough because I'm not sure. He does have blink for a stalker, so he has that going for him. But with a War Prism being better blink for those stalkers, and maybe even being just a little bit out of position considering where Ruichi's army is at the minute, I'm a little worried for RockEr here.
As am I. We do see a little bit of a scout. Ruiyichi confirms that a 4th base is on the way, just really ensuring that he has to, again, deal some damage because he's now down a base on top of everything. He does send his zealots off towards the natural base to maybe get into a mineral line. Eventually, a massive warp, and in come the Archons.
The Archons are going to be able to tank quite a lot of damage here, and that Immortal is just pounding away at these Stalkers. With that bonus damage to the Stalkers, the Immortal is going to be a significant difference maker in this fight. But really nice concave by RockEr. He's doing well, and he cleans up the Zealots, and he runs forward and gets the Warp Prism, so no more real micro. And he's going to lose Ruiyichi loses his Immortal, maybe? Oh no, yeah. Yes! He loses it, no.
Exactly, we see the blink on forward here, and it looks like we were underestimating the power of +2 there for RockEr on all of those Stalkers. He just completely shuts everything down. To be fair, also Ruiyichi was having like a really awkward engagement because I don't think there was ever a moment where more than one Archon was firing at a time because they were all kind of like stuck amongst each other and they were just kind of being awkward, and now RockEr has a massive lead.
Yeah, RockEr, he's really in the driver's seat here. He's got +3 on the way, and he has 3 robotics facilities, I believe, or he's going to have 3 if his current one finishes building. And 3 robos in a robotics bay can create quite a lot of Immortals or Disruptors. I'm very curious what he's going to go for.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine Disruptors are going to be the tech of choice, especially since the Robotics Bay is about to finish up here for RockEr. Ruiyichi is trying desperately to catch up, but after that massive attack, like, oh god, he has to rely on his own Disruptors to catch up. So it is going to be all about the Purification Novas, all about those Protoss balls. We're going to have a great time here.
Oh yeah, the Protoss, the Disco Balls are gonna bring the party, and we have the first one being built here by RockEr, and Ruiyichi is probably gonna have some not too terribly far behind, as he knows he has to do something to get back into this game. And with that Robotics Bay finishing, I feel like Disruptors have to start being chronoed out, and there is one, and he even goes with the chrono. Love to see it.
Yeah, that he does. I am a little bit concerned when it comes to Ruiyichi's production, just because there it is. Like, I was like, yo, 1 Robo Disruptor production? That's not going to be enough. The second Robo is finally on the way, but, oh god, he's going to be so far down when it comes to the Disruptor count. Not just that, Jesus, we have a pretty big DT hit squad here towards the right-hand side of the map.
I'd love to see these DTs, like, sort of wait for an actual fight to happen and then dive towards that 4th base. Because if you can wait until your opponent's like forced to look at the army, because Disruptor versus Disruptor, if you look away, you sort of die. And if you can just force like either Ruiyichi to look away and lose to Disruptors, or not, or look at the fight and lose to the DTs, I'd absolutely love this play. And so we do have the armies sort of posturing. The DTs, they start to go, and they're going to get this 5th base canceled at the very minimum, but RockEr isn't going forward. I feel like he should be more aggressive here.
Oh. We see the first sign of aggression. The first Disruptor shot does go off, and now the armies are forced to engage here. We have 2 more Disruptors. Oh my god, the Purification Nova!
Oh, he killed so many of the Disruptors. Almost all of them go down. He's down to 1 Disruptor here. Is RockEr. Really nice fight by Ruiyichi, but keep in mind, back on the other side of things, 18 probes have gone down and 2 Nexi. While RockEr did lose his whole army, Ruiyichi lost a significant amount of economy.
Yeah,
so Ruiyichi has to go now.
Exactly. What's on top of this is that the DTs, actually they get recalled back home. Is there detection? Thankfully, there is an observer with the main army, so it may be enough. 3 Disruptors are already done and waiting for the army of Ruiyichi.
I love to see it. The cannons, they are able to buy time for that 5th base, but losing a Stalker is not ideal. And he also lets the Nexus finish, so he's going to lose that Nexus as well. Really unfortunate here for RockEr, but 4 bases versus 3 gonna be 4 is a pretty decent position to be in, considering RockEr is still on like 77 probes.
I'm gonna be so shocked if Ruiyichi turns around right now. Like, he needs to keep going, but there are just so many disruptors. The nervous are going off. Oh, decent dodge there. Oh god.
Oh, he loses a disruptor to one of the disruptors of Ruiyichi. Nice job by RockEr, or by Ruiyichi there to catch what he can. And the DTs of RockEr are non-stop. I'm going for it once again. Ooh, maybe really good. Oh, it's a gorgeous hit by Ruiyichi.
Exactly, Ruiyichi, his Purification Novas have been insane here, especially in comparison to RockEr. Meanwhile, the Zealots of Ruiyichi are getting on top of these disruptors as well. Another one gets picked off, maybe even a second for free.
Oh, really nice job by the shield battery to catch and keep that disruptor alive, but a recall is forced out by these DTs. That is a significant slowdown of Ruichi's pressure, and he's down to 39 workers. Oh boy.
Feels bad, man. Ruiyichi, he's had so much momentum with these engagements, with these fights. He just continues to come out ahead, but these DTs really hurt him, forced him to come all the way back home, is depowering his production as well. Now he's going for another counterattack. RockEr could potentially go for a base trade.
I mean, a base trade here I feel like would favor RockEr, as he does have more structures total, but losing all these DTs is really not what you want to see here as RockEr. However, the army is just completely out of position for Ruiyichi, so Ruiyichi has to run, he has to catch something here, and he's just not quite in position, losing one of his robotic space, but he's still making disruptors, he still has a chance, and if he can clean up his army, maybe.
Oh my god, 2 Purification Novas to go off. There are 3 remaining here. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a surround as the Zealots do come in, and I believe that is going to be the final Purification Nova for RockEr, and that is it for his army. Now Ruiyichi can pounce.
Yeah, Ruiyichi, he blinks forward, but those disruptors, he has to hurry up. If he isn't careful, they might get another shot up.
Yeah.
He has to hurry up, but he blinks on top of them. Nice job focusing down. So no more disruptors at all for RockEr, and he gets out with a chunk of his army.
Yeah, again, Ruiyichi, it feels like he's trading favorably, but the problem with all of this is that RockEr has an economy. Ooh, Purification of it, sorry, Disruptor does get taken out, but RockEr, like, he has all these bases, he's been mining, he has all these workers. Ruiyichi is 100% all in.
Yeah, Ruiyichi does have a lot of gas, though, so he can really try and focus on that mineral income, and there's, like, a chance he comes back, but I don't know, like, it's sort of a long comeback. He has to, like, have god tier disruption or disruptor hits.
I mean, they've been pretty good.
I feel.
You know, they've been. Oh my god! Oh, Jesus Christ! That was so close. But like Ruiyichi's, they've been pretty good so far. He needs a couple more. Like he's got plenty of Purification Novas available to him. It's all about the positioning. It's all about whether he can catch RockEr off guard and who shoots first.
Exactly. If he can land like one or two really amazing Purification Novas, he can very easily just take an absolute insane amount of RockEr's army. But RockEr, he's like, no, I don't want to fight. I don't want to risk it. I'm going to go across the map and kill you again. But
let's go. Let's base trade it up. Meanwhile, okay, looks like the Disruptor will get picked off. I thought something huge was about to happen there. Workers are already going down. We are going full base trade mode. But Ruiyichi's ready for it. He's sending his probes across the map.
Oh, and he even has enough money for another Nexus. Ruiyichi, he's committed to the base race. He can rebuild, and he's going to rebuild. There's that Nexus being thrown down, and he has enough for even a second one as well, if need be. But this is really nicely done by Ruiyichi. He recognizes that he can't quite take this fight, but that's a Disruptor.
Go.
The Disruptors lived.
They did. That's the most important part here. But that was a massive shot for RockEr, a shot that he needed. The DT is also dealing a lot of damage. There's no detection here with the army of Ruiyichi.
Ruiyichi has 2 observers, and none of them are anywhere near.
Come to the army observer, please.
Sir, please. He's running to the observer now, but he just left it in siege mode. I think he forgot about it. Now it's coming. That is a lot of army that he missed out on.
Exactly. Feels bad, man. Meanwhile, the army of RockEr is cleaning up the main of Ruiyichi. Soon he's going to be coming back home. Meanwhile, Ruiyichi still has so much to deal with, so much to clean up, and there's still plenty of mining here and stack defense.
That's a lot of cannons, and disruptors, they can do okay against buildings, but like it's really hard to hit that many buildings. So it's going to be definitely a siege, and if Ruiyichi isn't careful, he can lose his final observer and then just lose the game to DTs.
Yeah.
Because he's down to one observer at the minute, and that observer is with his army, thankfully.
Oh, thankfully, it is with his army. At any moment, we could even see a recall here, but at the moment, RockEr, he is scouring the map, searching for that final nexus, that final base. Oh, the DT spots it!
Yeah, the DT does spot it, and he does get 3 probes. Is he going to get the final probes? He's down to 1 probe. That is not what you want to see.
Oh god, and not at all. Meanwhile, it looks like we're going to have one final engagement here. RockEr is posturing, looking for the army, waiting for that purification over. And Ruiyichi, he's forced to protect, forced to defend that nexus. Oh god.
Yeah, Ruiyichi, he is definitely not in an ideal spot. I feel like he just has, like, it's going to be very difficult for him to even rebuild. He lost, like, so much of his, basically, supply cap that it's going to take a long time for that 1 probe to build up to even build more probes to mine with. And it looks like that he just misses the army. Oh, no.
Oh god. I mean, the thing is that he can't leave his nexus, you know, otherwise he just loses. He just has to stay here. Meanwhile, ooh, a flanking disruptor shot. Oh, misses.
Just barely. Oh, but oh no, not quite. And he does save most of his army, but that is a lot of disruptors here for RockEr. And Ruiyichi, I just don't feel like he quite has it in him. And all the disruptors go down. The Nexus dies, and GG. Well done by RockEr to take that game.
Oh, GG, well played. That was a nail biter. That really could have gone either way there. A couple of unfortunate decisions that happened, or unfortunate situations, right? The fact that, for example, the Observer wasn't with the main army for Ruiyichi really hurt him as well. There was that final disruptor shot towards the top left that happened. Like, there was so much that came into play. That's GG.
That was a stressful game. I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack watching like disruptor fights that much.
Definitely.
It's all right. We got game 2. It might be a normal PvP, or it might be more disruptor novas. Although I feel like the degenerate, like sort of disruptor games are the normal in NA. So
I was about to say I was about to say the exact same thing. I was like, "Yo, that's the norm here. What are you on about?" Like, oh god. But yeah, that was terrifying. That was stressful. I think what's important to note is that, again, that was still a very close game there. It wasn't like RockEr was like ahead for the majority of that, or I should say, it wasn't like it was one-sided. So this series could go to the ace match.
Yes, for sure. As I feel like that there were several points in that game where either player could easily have come out on top. It sort of boiled down to Ruiyichi not quite being able to take not quite being able to deal with the DTs, as well as the RockEr was able to base trade with said DTs.
Yeah, those DTs did a lot, right? Like they sniped 3-4 nexuses by themselves, like as fights were going on. Like, oh my god.
That was a very intense PvP. I'm very curious, like, how Ruichi's gonna adjust. Is he gonna go for DTs himself? Is he gonna just try and play like, oh, I just need to be more on top of my like DT, my detection, more on top of what exactly is going on? I'm very curious how exactly he adjusts.
Yeah, especially because it looks like game number 2 is going to be on Romanticide, right? A very large map, a very macro-oriented map. Because it's so large, like, it can be sometimes difficult to defend your fringe bases, so DT run-bys could do a lot there as well. So hopefully we do see, like, maybe a more commitment to stack defense on his bases, you know, cannons, shield batteries to help fortify them a little bit more. Or we could just see a proxy right off the bat. Like,
I mean, I feel like maybe a cannon rush is in order, because we haven't seen a cannon rush in PvP yet.
True.
And who doesn't love cannon rushing? Like, I'm not entirely sure if these players are that comfortable with cannon rushing, since I've never seen them do it before.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
And really, they need to do it for us. Okay, we need to.
Exactly.
We need
Do
to.
it for the fans.
Exactly. We need to PM the players. Be like, yo, dude, you want to slip in a cheeky cannon rush? Like, RockEr, you're up 1-0. You know, you can afford to do it. Like,
Yeah, like you like, despite how close that game was, we'll just tell them that, oh, you were super ahead, and then you're just easy. You got this, even though that it was a very close game.
oh god, we'll see. We'll see. Meanwhile, shout out to Blade in the Twitch chat as well. He's been consistently keeping us updated with some of the other matches that are going on off stream, keeping us in the know, as there are, again, like a lot of like high profile players and high profile matches. Unfortunately, we can't cast everything as much as we would love to. So yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. It is unfortunate. There are only one of us, and so we can't just cast every single game. As much fun as that would be, trying to cast all the games at once, I don't quite think we're up to the task. Um, considering I only have one computer, so being in multiple lobbies might be a challenge. But we are finally loading in to the game, speaking of lobbies, and I am very excited to see what exactly these players have in store for us.
Oh yeah, let's go as we are spawning in to game number 2, which will be here on Romanticide LE. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the American Protoss player. He is blue, representing Team Apprentice Esports. It is Ruiyichi.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, representing License to Kill. Give it up for the green Protoss player. It is RockEr.
Oh my god! Oh, he was listening! He was listening! Let's go!
RockEr, you're my favorite. This is amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Look, I want to be on record and say I did not whisper RockEr, I did not sway whatever he was doing and tell him that he should cannon rush because he's ahead in the series. He's doing this of his own volition.
Yes, I said absolutely nothing to either player, because as someone who occasionally competes in tournaments, I know that it's a bit odd if you just start randomly messaging them, but the gas steal by Ruiyichi does not, or RockEr does not steal Ruiyichi's gas, which is very nice. However, with that first pylon getting up, he does manage to get one cannon, but is he able to get more? I don't. It's going to be a minute.
Yeah, exactly. We do have 2 more pylons on the way here with this second probe. RockEr is able to re-establish his foothold with all these cannons, with the pylons forcing another pull here from Ruiyichi. But this first cannon will finish, but the Zealot gets in just in time. Can he stop it?
Yeah, it's gonna be a close. That Zealot will have to be focus fired, and it's gonna come down. Oh, he even gets a cannon up on the high ground, and he tries to deny as much surface area as he can. But with that cannon up, a second cannon on the way, RockEr is starting to build up on this high ground. He's down to 1 probe.
He is down to 1 probe, but he throws down a gateway in the main of RockEr. He's slowly leapfrogging cannons towards the Nexus.
Love to see. I'd also love to see a second cannon on the low ground just to like try and depower this gateway. But instead, RockEr going for all in on moving forward.
That he is. Some nice movement there by Ruiyichi. He was able to sneak that Zealot up onto the high ground, got a little bit of damage done, but unfortunately there's just not enough HP here. He couldn't take down that pylon. The cannon, the leapfrog, it's coming ever closer to the bases of Ruiyichi.
Yeah, it is, and that one Stalker is gonna not be able to clean up the cannon, but with the shield battery, it might be. So, slowly but surely, Ruiyichi will clean up from the back, and so it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna become a bit of a race between how fast can RockEr get to the front of Ruiyichi's base.
Yeah, I'm just really concerned because like the cannons are already starting to shell away at the gas mining probes, at the pylon as well. There is a shield battery and there is an overcharge, but again, that's not going to be enough. Like, as you said though, the cannon on the low ground did get taken out.
Oh, for sure. But these Stalkers, they have been walled out of the main base with that pylon going down, they're going to have to take a significant detour through where all the cannons are. Ooh, but nice recall.
Yeah.
And RockEr's to be a bit concerned about losing his probe, and that cannon's taking a lot of damage before it can go up. That's concerning.
That it is. Some nice moves though. Again, with that recall, I really do appreciate it. But oh, there we go. The gas does get taken out here, and with very limited energy on this shield battery, Ruiyichi is having a hard time dealing with this cannon. But the micro is pretty good.
Yeah, really nice micro. He is doing a great job. However, he does have to just be incredibly worried about losing anything. Because if he loses either of these stalkers, that's basically it. But nice job by the Zealot to tank. It does go down, though, and he is able to clean up one of the cannons. So the shield battery is going down in the back, and he gets a stalker.
Yeah, the Zealot and the Stalker go down, and now RockEr has his own Stalker. No shield. Okay, there is one shield battery way in the back to help support him. He's going to need a little bit more than that. Also doesn't want to lose his own Stalker. What's important is that Ruiyichi didn't stop producing Stalkers, and he is working up from the back, even threw down a Stargate. Oh my god.
I love that Stargate here. Ruiyichi knows he has to go down. He has to keep what he can alive. And is that cannon just barely gonna go down? It looks like that cannon will finally go down in the front. However, in the back with shield batteries, RockEr has a nice just wall of defense. And now there are shield batteries in the front, and these stalkers are dealing a significant amount of damage.
Wow, yeah, the energy ran out on these shield batteries. The Stalker did go down for Ruiyichi, but now he has a Void Ray on the front line, a Void Ray with the power of shield batteries behind him. So with this, he can hold on. His Nexus is getting dangerously low, so he has to be careful here, as we do have more Void Rays on the way. And with the power of the Void Ray, he is pushing this back a little bit at least.
Yeah, every little inch helps, and unfortunately for RockEr, he isn't, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, he isn't really going for cleaning up the low ground at all. Instead, he's just focusing all his energy on the high ground. He's decided, yes, I will kill, as opposed to just contain you and deal damage. He's going for the kill. He's going for the win, as there's a second Void Ray now. I really like the Void Ray, and it's going to be very... I'm so worried because he's starting to lose shield batteries too, and he can't afford to lose these shield batteries.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also worried though because again, that Stalker count is getting pretty high, and once you have enough of them, doesn't matter how many shield batteries you have, you can start to really chunk away at the shields and the HP of these Void Rays because, mate, we've got some more gateways finishing up at home, more warpins across the map. Like, these Void Rays have to be careful not to overextend.
Exactly, and he doesn't even get it's spending so much shield battery energy, and he isn't even getting any stalkers for it. And more shield batteries are being more. He does have quite a bit. But he's losing the. Oh no, he hit the critical mass. He loses the Void Rays, and now he's just starting to lose absolutely everything. GG, and RockEr takes it. What?
Wow. GG. Something else that I wanted to bring up at some point if we got there, RockEr was also taking a ninja base towards the top right hand side of the map. It was insane. Oh god, Ruiyichi, he was doing such a good job at almost holding on, but as we saw, like, losing a couple of stalkers here and there, like, it really did impact how that game went.
Exactly. I feel like Ruiyichi needed to be a bit like, I don't even know like necessarily what Ruiyichi did wrong. I feel like maybe being a bit more aggressive, trying to like come in from and deny like buildings, I guess, because being able to get just that high of a stalker count really spelled the death knell for Ruiyichi. But really well done by RockEr. Both players played well.
Yeah. That they did, and I mean, I appreciate that RockEr ended it with style, you know? Going for the cannon rush there, that was insane. It was great to see this awkward scenario where, like, Ruiyichi was trying to, like, surround and come in from behind and the front at the same time and figure some things out and going for the Void Rays. Like, it was a great game of StarCraft.
It was definitely a great game of StarCraft, and I'm very excited to see exactly what the matchup's going to be next, because we might get Game versus Zero next, or Binsky. Both players are pretty good. I feel like Zero's a bit of the better player though, so I'm very curious to see exactly how that goes down.
Yeah, I would have to agree there, as, again, congratulations to RockEr. He moves on to a qualifying match, a best of 5, where he is waiting for his opponent. Meanwhile, as we've been getting a couple of other updates in the chat, Mogar FN Smash is waiting for his own opponent for a qualifying match. There hasn't been a qualifying match that has started yet, I believe.